Welcome, my friend, to 24/7 English, a place where learning English feels simple, helpful, and real. Let me ask you a question. If you wanted to grow a plant, would you pour 5 liters of water on it once a month? Of course not. You'd give it a little water every day, just enough to keep it growing. Learning English works the same way. You don't need 5 hours of study in one day. What you need is just 15 minutes each day. A small daily effort can help your English grow stronger over time. It's not about doing a lot once. It's about doing a little, again and again, step by step, word by word. Let's talk about why that works. Your brain is like a sponge. When you do something often, not once, but again and again, your brain starts to remember. This is called repetition. Imagine you hear the phrase, "nice to meet you," just one time. You might forget it. But if you hear it 10 times, 20 times, it starts to stick. Your brain remembers. You begin to say it without thinking. You don't stop. You don't translate. You just speak. That's the power of daily practice. In the beginning, speaking English feels slow and hard, like riding a bicycle for the first time. It's wobbly. You stop. You worry. But with practice, you begin to ride. You move smoothly. You don't think about every little thing. You just go. The same thing happens in English. At first, you translate in your head. You pause a lot. But when you practice a little every day, your brain and mouth start working together. You begin to speak more naturally. So what exactly is consistency? Simply put, consistency means doing something regularly. It's not about doing a lot once. It's about doing a little often. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't brush them once for 2 hours and then forget for a week. You brush them for a few minutes every day. It's a habit. And your English learning should be like that too. Short, simple, and daily. Just 15 minutes. That's all you need to start. Now, let's imagine what happens when you begin this kind of daily practice. On day 1, you listen to a short story. It's just 5 minutes. You don't understand everything, but you catch a few words like happy, rain, or go home. That's okay. Your ears are learning. On day 2, you listen again. Now you hear more. It was raining, so I went home early. You understand a full sentence. On day 3, you repeat the sentence out loud. It was raining, so I went home early. Your mouth feels strange at first, but it gets easier. That's real progress, slow and steady. Practicing every day helps in 3 important ways. First, you remember more. Words begin to stay in your memory. Second, you feel more confident. You aren't as afraid to speak because you've practiced. You think, hey, I can do this. I'm not perfect, but I'm better than yesterday. Third, you start speaking more naturally. In the beginning, your English feels slow and forced. But over time, your speaking becomes smoother. Your mouth gets used to English sounds, and your brain recognizes common patterns. Here's a simple truth. You don't need 5 hours on Sunday. You just need 15 minutes today, and then 15 minutes tomorrow, and the next day. That's how you grow. Like watering a plant. Not too much at once, just enough every day. Now maybe you're wondering, Okay, I believe this. But what should I do in those 15 minutes? Don't worry. That's exactly what we'll talk about in the next part. I'll give you 5 simple things you can do each day, and each one only takes a few minutes. You don't need to do all of them. Just pick 1 or 2. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to be consistent. So if you're ready to grow your English like a tree with strong roots and green leaves, stay with me. And remember this: showing up every day, even for just 15 minutes, is how real progress begins. You've already taken your first step by being here. I'm proud of you. So now you understand how powerful 15 minutes a day can be. But maybe you're asking, okay, I get it. Small daily practice is important. But what should I actually do in those 15 minutes? That's a great question, and the answer is simple. You don't need a big textbook or a long study plan. You just need a few simple activities, easy to do, easy to repeat. In this part, I'll give you 5 things you can do. You don't have to do all 5 every day. Just choose 1 or 2, or even mix them up. The key is to make it simple and regular. Let's begin. The first thing you can do is listen to English. That's right, just listen. Find a short podcast or audio story that is made for English learners. It doesn't have to be long or difficult. Just 3 to 5 minutes is enough. You can listen while walking, cleaning your room, or even making tea. Your goal is not to understand every single word. Your goal is to train your ears. Try to catch some words or understand the general idea. Over time, you will notice that you understand more and more. Your brain gets used to the sound of English, and you begin to hear words and phrases more clearly. The second thing you can try is called shadowing. This is one of the best ways to improve your speaking. Here's how it works. You listen to a short sentence in English, and you say it at the same time as the speaker. Like an echo, like a shadow. For example, you hear the sentence, "I'm going to the shop." You repeat with the speaker, "I'm going to the shop." Again and again. You copy the voice, the speed, the rhythm. At first, it feels strange, maybe even difficult. But soon, your mouth starts to move more naturally. You speak more clearly. You sound more like a native speaker. And guess what? You can find many shadowing videos or podcasts online. Even our channel has special episodes just for this. The third simple practice is reading. Yes, reading a short story, news article, or even a blog post. But here's the important part. Choose something easy and interesting. Don't pick a long article with 50 new words. Just one short story. Read slowly. Enjoy it. If you find a new word, try to guess the meaning from the sentence. If it's too hard, check the dictionary. But don't stop too often. Let the reading flow. Reading helps you learn new words, sentence patterns, and grammar naturally. And if you like what you read, you'll want to read more. That's the secret. Choose what you enjoy. The fourth thing you can do is write a short paragraph. Writing helps you think in English. It helps you practice grammar and learn how to express your thoughts. Don't worry about being perfect. Just write 3 to 5 sentences. That's enough. Write about your day. Today, I woke up early. I made coffee. I went to work. It was a busy day. Or write about your plans. Tomorrow, I will go to the market. I want to buy apples. Then I will meet my friend. This simple writing builds confidence. And if you keep a small notebook or use your phone, you'll see your progress over time. That's powerful. Finally, the fifth activity is very simple, but very useful. Talk to yourself in English. Yes, really. You can do this anywhere. At home, in your room, while walking, or even in front of the mirror. Just speak out loud. Describe what you're doing. I'm making tea. I'm washing my hands. I'm getting ready for work. Or talk about how you feel. I'm a little tired. I'm excited. I'm learning English. When you do this, you train your brain to think in English. You become more comfortable using English in daily life. And the best part? No one can hear you, no pressure, just you and your thoughts, in English. So let's review. What can you do in 15 minutes a day? You can 1. Listen to English audio or a short podcast. 2. Shadow one sentence with the speaker. 3. Read a short story or article. 5. Write a short paragraph about your day or plans. 5. Talk to yourself out loud in English. Pick 1 or 2, or do a different one each day. These activities are not hard. They don't take a lot of time. But when you do them consistently, they create change, real change. Now you might ask, but will I really improve if I only do 15 minutes? The answer is yes, if you do it every day. Think of it like this. If you walk for 15 minutes a day, you get stronger. You feel healthier. If you practice English for 15 minutes a day, your brain gets stronger. Your language grows. Your confidence grows. Little by little. Let's take a quick example. Imagine you choose to listen to a podcast every morning. It's only 5 minutes. On day 1, it's difficult. On day 5, you start to recognize a few words. On day 10, you understand full sentences. On day 20, you can explain what the podcast was about. You didn't do anything big, just 5 minutes of listening. But because you did it every day, your brain learned, remembered, and improved. That's the secret. That's the magic. Not one big moment, but many small moments. Repeated daily. So don't wait for the perfect time. Don't say, I will study on Sunday when I have more time. Just start today. Pick one activity, set your timer for 15 minutes, and enjoy it. That's all you need to do. Let's start with day 1. You sit down and listen to a short podcast. It's only 5 minutes. You don't understand everything. Maybe just a few words. Morning, school, coffee. That's okay. You don't feel fluent. You feel a little slow, maybe even frustrated. But you did something. You took the first step. You practiced. And that small action matters. At the end of the day, you feel good. You think, I did it. I started. That's a win. Maybe you also learned one new phrase. That's a small win too. And small wins add up. Now let's move to 1 week later. You've practiced for 7 days in a row. You didn't skip. Every day you listened, or read, or spoke. Maybe some days were hard. Maybe one day you were tired, but you still gave yourself 15 minutes. After a week, something changes. Your brain feels more comfortable with English. You hear words you've seen before. You don't have to translate everything. You start to understand the general idea of a sentence without stopping to think. For example, you hear, "I'm heading to the store." And even if you've never studied the word heading, you understand that it means going. Why? Because your brain is learning how to guess meaning from context. And that's a big skill. By the end of week 1, you start to notice something else. Your confidence grows. You don't feel afraid every time you speak. You're not perfect, but you don't freeze like before. You start to say short sentences out loud. You don't need to write them first. You just say them. "I'm tired. I'm going outside. I like this." These may seem like small sentences, but they are big steps. Now let's imagine 1 month of daily practice. You've completed 30 days. Some days were easy, some were hard, but you never gave up. You showed up every day for 15 minutes. Maybe you listened to a story, shadowed a podcast, read short articles, or kept a small English journal. By this point, something amazing has happened. English starts to feel familiar. It's not a strange language anymore. You don't panic when you hear someone speaking English. You understand more. You speak more. You even start to think in English, just a little. Think about that. After just 1 month of consistent small practice, your brain begins to accept English as part of your daily life. You know more words. You know more grammar, even if you didn't study grammar. Why? Because you saw it and heard it again and again in real sentences. You learned it the natural way, like a child learns their first language, slowly, through real use. Here's a real example. In your first week, you saw the word maybe. You didn't understand how to use it, but after seeing it 10 times in stories or podcasts, you start using it yourself. Maybe I'll go out. Maybe it will rain. Now it's yours. You didn't memorize it, you lived it. That's the power of consistent input and short daily practice. After 1 month, you also notice your mistakes don't scare you anymore. Before, every mistake felt like failure. Now, you understand that mistakes are part of learning. You speak anyway. You write anyway. You trust yourself more. You realize, I can do this. I'm not perfect, but I'm better than yesterday. That's confidence. And confidence doesn't come in one big moment. It grows slowly, like a seed becoming a tree. But it grows. Here's the truth. Most people give up too soon. They try 1 or 2 days, don't see big results, and stop. But not you. You're different. You understand that real change takes time. And 15 minutes a day is not too much. It's enough to grow. It's enough to improve. And most importantly, it's enough to keep going. So what can you expect after 1 month of consistent 15-minute practice? You'll understand more spoken English. You'll speak more easily, even without planning. You'll write simple sentences without stress. You'll feel less nervous and more proud. And that's not just progress. That's transformation. Now, Maybe you're asking, but what if I miss a day? That's okay. One missed day doesn't break your progress. Just don't let one day become 5. The goal is not perfection. The goal is momentum. If you miss one day, come back the next. That's consistency. That's growth. Let's begin with a simple idea. Motivation does not come first. Action comes first. Many people wait until they feel motivated. They say, I'll study when I feel ready, or I'll practice when I'm in the mood. But that's not how it works. Real learners, successful learners, don't wait for perfect energy or a perfect day. They just begin. Even if it's just 5 minutes. And often, when they begin, they start to feel better. They feel proud. They feel progress. And that creates motivation. So remember this. Don't wait. Start small. Start today. And motivation will follow. Now, let me give you 4 simple tips to help you build a daily habit. Something that feels automatic, like brushing your teeth or checking your phone. The first tip is to use a calendar or checklist. Make a simple chart with the days of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. After you practice, just write what you did. Listen to a podcast, wrote 5 sentences, shadowed a video. It only takes 10 seconds to write, but when you see that list growing day by day, you feel proud. You think, wow, I've practiced for 5 days in a row, and that feeling pushes you to continue. A visual record helps your brain feel success. The second tip is to set a timer. Often we think we have no time, but the truth is, we do. You don't need an hour, just 10 to 15 minutes. Use your phone or a small timer. Set it. Tell yourself, I will practice for just 15 minutes today. That's it. When the timer starts, you begin. And when the timer ends, you stop. Simple. Sometimes you may feel good and want to do more. Great. But if you only do the 15 minutes, that's enough. You kept your promise to yourself. The third tip is to pick the same time each day. This is powerful. Choose a time that fits your life. For example, right after breakfast, before bed, during your lunch break, or on your daily walk. If you do it at the same time every day, it becomes a natural part of your routine. You don't have to think about it. It just happens. That's what we call a habit. Something automatic. Something that becomes part of your day, like drinking water or locking the door. And the more natural your practice feels, the more likely you are to continue. Now the fourth and most important tip. Make it fun. If you hate it, you won't keep doing it. So choose content and activities that you actually enjoy. If you love cooking, read a recipe in English. If you like travel, watch a short video about a new country. If you enjoy music, try singing along to an English song. English is not only grammar books and vocabulary lists. It's also stories, jokes, movies, games, songs, and more. So make your practice personal. Make it something that feels good, not something you have to do, but something you want to do. Also, keep your learning tools ready. Save your favorite podcasts, keep your notebook nearby, bookmark 1 or 2 good websites. When everything is easy to find, it's easier to begin. If you have to search for 10 minutes just to find something to read, you may give up before you even start. But if your tools are ready, you can jump in and use your time well. Now let's talk about hard days. Yes, you will have them. Days when you're tired, days when you're busy, days when English feels difficult or boring. That's normal. Everyone has those days, even native speakers when learning a new skill. The key is not to stop completely. On those days, give yourself permission to do less. Maybe just listen to one short story. Maybe write just one sentence. That's okay. The important thing is to stay connected. Even a little bit keeps the habit alive. It keeps your English plant growing. And here's another helpful idea. Celebrate your small wins. Did you speak English for 5 minutes today? That's a win. Did you learn one new word? That's a win. Did you understand one new sentence in a podcast? That's real progress. Give yourself credit. Too often, learners only see their mistakes. They say, "I'm still not fluent. I still make errors." But progress is not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, slow, step by step. Celebrate every step. So let's bring it all together. If you want to keep your English practice strong, remember these 4 things. Track your progress with a checklist or calendar. Set a timer for just 15 minutes. Practice at the same time each day and choose content that you enjoy. Make it easy. Make it fun. Make it yours. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't wait for motivation to come. Just show up day by day and let your English grow. Let's start with 3 months. That's about 90 days. If you practice English for just 15 minutes a day, that's over 22 hours of practice in total. That's a full day of learning. Think about it. Not from one long study session, but from small, simple pieces. And during those 90 days, something starts to happen. English becomes a natural part of your life. You hear a phrase like, "What's up?" and you don't stop to think. You just understand it. You see the word probably in a sentence, and you know how it fits. You may not be fluent yet, but your confidence is much higher. You feel more relaxed. You're not scared of English anymore. You've built a habit, and it's strong. By 6 months, the change is even bigger. That's around 180 days. If you kept going for just 15 minutes a day, you now have 45 hours of real practice. 45 hours. That's a huge amount of time, and you didn't even feel it. Why? Because you never forced yourself to sit for hours. You just showed up every day for a short moment. And now, your speaking is smoother. Your listening is faster. Your brain doesn't translate every word like before. You can have short conversations. You can write short messages or emails. You might even start thinking in English without realizing it. But here's something even more powerful. By 6 months, you've proven to yourself that you are a learner. You are someone who shows up, someone who builds skills, someone who doesn't give up. And this belief, this identity, is more important than any grammar rule. Because now, you know you can do hard things. You know that progress takes time, but it's possible. You feel it. You've lived it. And that's a gift that goes beyond English. That's a life skill. Now imagine 1 full year, 365 days of consistent small practice. 15 minutes a day adds up to over 90 hours of English practice. 90 hours. Just think of how much progress you can make. You could finish many books. You could listen to hundreds of podcast episodes. You could write dozens of journal entries. Your vocabulary would be stronger. Your speaking would be faster. You could hold real conversations. You wouldn't be fluent in every topic, no. But you would feel in control. You would feel at home with the language. And here's something else. People around you will start to notice. Maybe your teacher says, "Your English has really improved." Or your friend asks, "How did you get so confident?" And you'll smile because you'll know the answer. You didn't do anything magical. You didn't take a big course or spend hours every day. You just showed up. You gave 15 minutes of your time, again and again, and that simple action changed everything. You see, big change doesn't come from one big day. It comes from many small days. That's the real message of this story. English is not just something you study, it's something you live. And when you live it, even for just a short time each day, it becomes part of you. Your thoughts, your habits, your daily rhythm. And that's how true fluency begins. Of course, the journey doesn't end here. There will still be days when it feels hard. There will still be new words to learn, new mistakes to make. That's normal. That's part of the process. But now, you have the tools. You have the habit. And you have the belief that you can keep going. So wherever you are in your English journey, whether you're just starting or already on your way, remember this. 15 minutes a day is not small. It's powerful, it's life-changing, and most of all, it's enough. So set your timer, open your notebook, play your favorite podcast, read one page, speak one sentence, and when you do, smile. Because you're not just learning English, you're becoming the kind of person who grows every day. Thank you for joining me in this journey. I'm proud of you. Keep practicing. Keep going. And always remember, a little every day is better than a lot once in a while.